Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly throwback review for this week, which is going to be of The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 4, one of the absolute worst episodes ever, which was called Cherokee Rose. Yeah, so I've got a video coming up pretty soon, going to be talking about the worst episodes of The Walking Dead up until the end of Season 4 or the start of Season 5. And no doubt this one's going to be on it. Absolutely, for sure. No question about it. This one has to be on it. This episode is one of the weakest in the entire series. It's so silly to watch it again because you have, the main thing with this one is that one of the focal points of the episode is this big fat blubber butt zombie that has wandered into one of the wells, even though they have 5 at Herscel's farm. So it's not like they only have 2 wells or something like that. They've got 5 of them. And not only that, but Herscel tells Rick that I don't want you people being, feeling comfortable here because you're not going to be staying here that long. So, as a result, that doesn't make sense. You're going to put all this effort and put Glenn's life in jeopardy by luring him into a well to tie a rope on this big fat walker and try to pull them out of the well so that you can, help out with the well when you're not even going to be staying there anyway, and they have 5 of them. So they have 4 other wells. So it's not like they're going to be, not able to drink or anything. They're going to be fine even with the other 4. So, and there's also been characters that have been killed off. So, if they had 5 before the zombie apocalypse with Herscel losing his family members and people around, 4 should be plenty for them. So now you could argue, okay, well maybe Rick's group was trying to do something nice for Herscel since he helped them out and he gave them sanctity. But it's funny because of where we're at now in the series when you look back on it and how useless that was, because they put all this effort into it. They focus a good portion of the episode on it, and then at the end of the season, they just all have to evacuate the farm anyway because it gets overrun, right? Now, of course, at that time, they didn't know that, but definitely in retrospect, it makes this one of the worst episodes, I would have to say. So that's the main bad thing. Aside from that, there isn't much else that happens. In terms of takeaways for this episode and what does happen, we have basically Lori is pregnant. We find out she's pregnant, which if you read the comic series, you would have already known anyway. So for new viewers, though, I guess that's a decent development, to see that, which is not bad. So that's a pretty cool development. We have Glenn and Maggie, the start of their relationship, which basically begins with sex, and Maggie's reasoning for it is because there aren't a lot of options. Awful. So, I like the scene, though. It's funny. It's kind of, humorous to see the banter between the two and how Stephen Yeun and Glenn, he trips over his words as he doesn't really know what to say. He doesn't know how to react to her advances. And it is a funny scene. So I like that one, and that's one that I take away from this episode as a good contribution to the series. Lori pregnant thing is also, we also see the beginning of Herscel and Rick's relationship between the two. So we're getting to see kind of the religious side of Herscel. He's talking to Rick about, God and asking him if he sees God's hand and what's happened and Carl surviving and all these different types of ways of thinking that he used to use or he does use, which is not bad development. I do like it because that's kind of like through Herscel, he gives Rick that hope side. And they did even better with this in Season 4 where they really sort of expanded on that and put Herscel in there as like a fatherly figure for Rick and someone to help him while he's going through that tough time in Season 3 after losing Lori. So helping him kind of coming back, even at the fence, if you guys remember, when are you coming back? And talk about how the group needs him, showing him how to farm, teaching him things, helping out the group members there. So Herscel becomes an amazing character throughout the series. This one is like the start of that, the start of his relationship with Rick growing. So that's a good thing as well. And then aside from that, we have the Otis funeral, where Shane basically, you got the flashbacks, which are pretty cool, and he kind of spins it to make Otis out to be a hero, which is good. And I do like that. I thought that was decent as well. Aside from that, that's basically the whole episode. Carl's okay. Carl wakes up. He's okay. He wasn't killed. Herscel's surgery was a success. And that's it. That's it. Aside from that, there's dialogue between characters. You see characters like Shane teaching Andrea how to, take apart her gun and different things around the camp and what's happening. You've got Dale and T-Dog getting water. You just have different, living things at the farm aside from that, which were not bad for a little bit of a slowdown after Save the Last One and a great premiere. But, that's really all this episode has to offer. So definitely, if you're suggesting for somebody to check out The Walking Dead that hasn't really seen much of it, this is not an episode you would want to point them to, that's for sure. For a score, in retrospect, compared to the other episodes we've had, and with 6.5 being average on my rating scale for an episode, I'm only going to give this one a 5 at this point. It does have those few things I mentioned which are good for the series, which do add to the series. But aside from that, it's a good amount of wasted time. It's slow. There's hardly any zombies. I mean, the Well Walker, is that the only one? I think he's like the only one in the whole episode. So it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse without zombies. It's just the characters kind of living there with the one Well Walker. The coolest part, I'd have to say, is probably where they pull the walker up and his body, his big fat bloated body breaks in half as they're pulling it off. And that's pretty cool. It's a gruesome, kind of scene, which isn't bad. It's just that in terms of what we're used to for The Walking Dead, used to having really dense episodes where lots of character development happens, lots of things happen and action, and you got all kinds of stuff going on, like Carl getting shot, or just different things like this, Shane and Rick fighting, or one of them getting killed off, or compared to the progression, this episode doesn't add that much to the series in terms of progression. And these episodes right here, leading up to Pretty Much Dead Already, were around the time Frank Darabont really got mad because he didn't feel. I personally, from the news I've read and the reports and everything, he said he was the showrunner at this time. I believe, my opinion is, these episodes right here, this one, Cherokee Rose, also Chupacabra, and Secrets, these three, I think, are what pissed him off. Because Save the Last One's fine, Bloodletting's fine, What Lies Ahead is amazing. Well, Save the Last One's amazing too. And then Pretty Much Dead Already is amazing, Going Forward's amazing. You have these three episodes in the middle of the season that are like just a group living at the farm. And it's really not up to The Walking Dead standards. It's fine for another drama series, because there's lots of drama series that are worse than these three episodes. So many, it's hard to count. But for the bar that The Walking Dead has set for itself in terms of development, progression, I want to say action, not really action, but drama, and just, the world, the environment they've created. Like, look at the difference in walkers between Season 4 to this episode. One walker, Season 4, I don't know, every episode's got like 30 walkers, dozens and dozens of zombies. So I think they just ran out of the budget, and I think that's what pissed off Frank Darabont, was these episodes right here, and that's why he decided to rage out on the bosses at AMC, and they got mad and canned him, basically. So told him to shut up and canned him. So I'm behind him. I 100% agree with his position, which was that they should have had a better budget, they should have been able to do more, and otherwise you're going to get episodes like this where just a whole lot of nothing happens, or barely anything. Not to say it's all bad. There are those cool moments I talked about. There's also Daryl and Carol. They start to develop, a cool type of relationship as Daryl refuses to give up to look for Sophia while everyone else is pulling a stupid walker out of the well. So, I got to appreciate that, and that is decent too as well. So there are some things about it that aren't bad, but just overall, this episode is one of the weaker ones in the entire series. I would say so. Let me know what you guys think about this episode right here. If you haven't seen it for a while, you may want to check it out for the review. It's just kind of fun to watch because there's not much on TV right now anyway with the summertime, aside from the World Cup and all that. So if you're into sports. If you're not, though, you like drama TV series, and this is basically, you got to watch something older. Otherwise, there's a few new shows, but nothing that great, I'd say. Under the Dome's pretty good, but aside from that, not too much else I've seen that's really, grabbed my attention. So if you guys like the review, please sum it up, like it below. If you did like the episode, if this is an episode you do like, please plead your case below. Write why maybe you think some of those other things are awesome. I don't know. Let's talk about it and let's hear what you guys think, and maybe which episode you think is the worst. But I'll expand on this when I do my top 10 worst episodes of The Walking Dead ever. 5 out of 10. That's all I'm going to give this episode. In retrospect, compared to what we're used to, way below the standard The Walking Dead has set, and I believe caused Frank Darabont to get fired. Let me know what you guys think, though, and thumb it up if you want to. If you want to help support the channel, share it, favorite it, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. Next Sunday, next episode will be Season 2, Episode 5. So look forward to that if you guys like the Season 2 throwbacks. And, peace, guys.